and good afternoon, evening. Welcome to our virtual Meet the Employer with AIM Independent Living. We have Mr. Derek Eck here today presenting on their behalf. Um, we are colleagues here in the Elmira area in the not-for-profit world, and this is a great opportunity for yourselves and the community to learn a little bit more about what AIM does, their products and services, and then we're going to go into positions that they have available at the moment and that online application process. Derek, welcome. Thank you. I'm going to let you take the show.
Thank you. I appreciate it. I can't see anybody right now because I'm in presenter mode, but if you guys have trouble hearing me or anything, just stop me and let me know.
We can see you.
Right. Well, I just can't see you guys. That's all. I'm just seeing my PowerPoint right now. I thought I'd just do a quick run through. I have a little slideshow that kind of just highlights our programs and services. Are people here familiar with AIM already, or a little bit, or not at all?
I'm familiar.
Okay.
I'm not
well, but you can share more.
Okay. Let me just run through our. Basically, we our whole focus is providing supports and services to people with all different types of disabilities, all ages. Our goal is to keep people living independently at home and be integrated in the community. So these are the core services, and these are kind of themes throughout all our programs and services, but we do a lot of peer counseling. We have a lot of staff with disabilities. We do a lot of independent living skills training, information referral to other agencies in the area. Individual advocacy is basically helping people solve problems, overcome barriers. And then we also do systems advocacy, which is basically pushing for positive change for people with disabilities. And that can be at the local, state, or the federal level. And then we do transitions, which is basically transitioning people out of nursing homes and other long-term care facilities and getting them set up with their own apartments in the community, and then linking them with the supports and services that they need to live independently in their own apartment. So let's see here. There we go. Our main offices are in Corning and Elmira, and in each of them we have a general advocate, and they're kind of like the front door. They help people with all kinds of issues. It can be housing, benefits, figure out what supports and services they might be eligible for, and it's free. You can contact us and they'll help you free of charge. And then I'll just talk about some of our bigger programs a little bit. We have two Medicaid waiver programs. As you can see, nursing home transition and diversion. Basically, we do service coordination for both of these waiver programs. The other one is people with traumatic brain injuries, and basically kind of quarterback everything they need, whether it be home care, meals, assistive technology, things like that. There's a long list. And then we also do provide some services directly, and those are listed there. Independent living skills training, community integration counseling, positive behavioral interventions and supports. So I mentioned we do transitions. This is a program that gives a rent subsidy and helps people transition out of nursing homes and then move into their own apartment. We have a specialist that helps people not only qualify for the rent subsidy, but then there's a stipend that pays for some of the expenses involved with moving and setting up a household. And we also help basically find suitable housing for people. Let's see, we have, I think these got out of order a little bit on me, but we have a home care program. This is also one of our bigger ones. Basically, we have personal assistants that work directly for people with disabilities. People can pick their own personal assistants and train them and manage them. And we're the fiscal intermediary, which means we do all the behind the scenes stuff. We do the payroll for their personal assistants or home care aides. And we do, we handle the benefits, the payroll, the Medicaid billing, and we provide support for the program. But really what it is the personal assistant works for the individual directly. We also have a lot of different OPWDD services for people with intellectual or developmental disabilities. That breaks down into the categories of service access, which is basically the front door to the OPWDD system. We do brokerage, which is planning and budgeting for services. And we do, we're also a fiscal intermediary for self-directed services where people can hire staff to support them. And we do, again, the billing, the payroll for the staff they hire, and the budgeting, things like that for the Medicaid billing. And so this is one of the jobs we have available that we're hiring for right now. Is we're hiring for what we call self-hire staff or self-directed staff, and they do community rehabilitation, which is like they work with people in their home in the community to, and they have a plan set up, sets goals, and the staff helps people with activities in the community as well as activities at home. And the idea is to build social skills, independent living skills, and do the type of activities that they'd like to do, going to the gym, volunteering, work, things like that. And then for OPWDD, we also do a lot of family support services, which is youth programs, youth groups, things like that. Assistive technology, we have a pretty big loan program for assistive equipment and technology. Some of the examples there are wheelchairs, walkers, ramps, grab bars, wire lifts, all kinds of communication devices. We basically have a 2-car garage behind our office filled with items that are available for loan. Also deliver with that program. We have a delivery van, and we cover basically the southern tier. It's a pretty large region. So if people are homebound, they can't get to us, we do deliver equipment. The loans are for 10 weeks and they're free. So we have a supported employment program. We partner with Access VR, which is the employment services for people with disabilities. And we do, we connect people. We have a list of employers in the area, and we connect people with jobs and work experiences. And then we do, job training, job preparation, and then so there's things like help with resumes, practice interviews. We get people ready for employment, and then we also do like on-site job coaching with that program. The long-term care ombudsman program, we basically advocate for nursing home residents. We listen to, quality of life, health, safety concerns that residents might have or their families, and then we contact the staff and address those issues. If it becomes a real problem, we can file reports with the state about the issue, but usually we just address it with the staff and work it out. Have a couple of full-time staff in this program. It also relies a lot on volunteers. It's been a difficult year for this program because visitation's been restricted in nursing homes, but we're still operating it, and it's with everything that's been going on in nursing homes this year with COVID, it's a really important program. New York Connects, it's basically options counseling. We're part of a statewide network, but we provide a lot of information. If you have someone with a disability and you want to keep them in the home, we help you figure out what kind of supports and services are available: home care, transportation, meals, And we partner with the Offices for the Aging on this program, but basically it's counseling on what options are out there. Benefits advisement, we do a lot of work with helping people apply for Social Security Disability and SSI, and appeal denials, and denials are common, but we help people appeal and we go to their court hearings with them, things like that. We also help people apply for other benefits that are available, whether it's food assistance, heating assistance, really any type of benefit. Whoops. Similar is health insurance. We have a health insurance navigator program. We help people who don't have insurance through a job apply through the New York State of Health Marketplace. And we have basically, I think, a team of 5 navigators that help people sign up, look what options are there, compare the costs, the coverage, things like that, and then get them enrolled. And right now we're just doing phone help with that. Supportive housing is a new program for AIM. It helps people with disabilities who are homeless or at risk of becoming homeless. We have some, I think 15 apartment units down in Elmira. They're open to certain categories of people with disabilities, seniors, people with intellectual or developmental disabilities, and veterans with disabilities. But we're planning on expanding our supportive housing, adding more apartments for more different categories of people. Veteran services, we have a full-time veterans advocate on staff, and this is a position, our veterans advocate is leaving as of Friday. So we're now in the process of hiring a veterans advocate to replace him. So he connects people with supports and services. If veterans, it's for veterans with disabilities who might need help with education, employment, healthcare, housing, navigating the VA system, things like that. And then this position also coordinates a peer mentoring program for veterans. And we're always recruiting for veterans to be mentors, and then veterans to be mentees. So that's a full-time position. I think 40 hours a week. It's a nice benefit package. We do a retirement plan with a match. We do a pretty generous paid time off and holidays, and then we do medical, dental, vision, and life insurance. So that's one of the positions that we're hiring for right now is a veterans advocate.
And Derek, with this, you have to be a veteran in order to apply to this position?
Yes. Yes. Did we have another question? Did I hear someone?
No,
okay.
I didn't hear Carrie Ann's complete question.
Go ahead and ask, Adrian.
Oh, you didn't ask a question? Oh, okay. I do have a question. I have a question about that position.
Go ahead.
In the description, because I did look at that description earlier today, and it said that you must be a veteran. Is that flexible, or it is?
If you had a really good, if you had a good resume, and as far as I know, I've never asked that question. I saw the job description as well. I was looking at it, and it does say you must be a veteran. I can ask our HR director if they would consider, like, someone had a really good background that would be applicable, if they might consider it, and maybe they didn't have a veteran apply. Then maybe. So I don't know the answer to your question, long story short, but I could ask for you.
Okay, that would be. I was just curious in reading the job description, and I thought I would take the opportunity to ask. So I'd appreciate it.
Sure. if you've had other advocate positions in the past, and they think you'd be a good candidate despite that. Maybe if you've worked with veterans in the past, they might consider you. Yeah, okay. I can check on that for sure if you want to. I can give you my email if you want to, and you can shoot me an email and ask. I can check tomorrow.
Okay, great, awesome, thank you.
Yeah, sure. So this is our Recovery Peer Advocate Program. The last few years, we branched out into addiction recovery services. And we have a peer advocate on staff, basically he's kind of a mentor, helps others in their recovery, sets up recovery plans, connects people with services they might need. And we're doing a support group, a virtual support group every couple of weeks called Friends and Family Support Group. And this is our other addiction recovery program. It's called Family Support Navigator, and it's very similar, but it's more focused on people who have someone struggling with substance abuse in their family, and it kind of provides support more for the family. And but this person just left, but we haven't posted the job yet, so I don't know if they're going to fill it right away. But it's worth checking back on our website to see if it does open up, because our Family Support Navigator did also leave recently. Right now, the director of these recovery services is filling the role, so I don't know if they're going to hire someone else, or if they're just going to wait a little bit on that. But it might be worth checking if that's some program that you're interested in. And systems advocacy, it's actually a program. This is my program that I do. It's a lot of, we work together with other independent living centers around the state. And we do a lot of work in Albany. We meet with our legislators to push for our budget priorities and our legislative priorities, bills that advance. We want bills that we want to see advanced in Albany that help people with disabilities. And yeah, I think that's it for the slideshow. We also just revamped our website. That was a project I just finished. So we just launched a brand new website, and it lists all of our programs broken into categories. It's aimso.com. Go on there and check it out. Only problem is I'm having a little trouble with our email system. So if you send an email to the contacts on our website for the different programs, you might get a bounce notice. It does go through and we'll respond, but just a little glitch just to make you aware of that.
And Derek, I put your email in the chat as well.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, if you have any questions, please feel free to email me. So yeah, our 3 positions that we have open right now are, we're always hiring in our home care program. I'm gonna stop the slideshow here.
Sure.
Okay, there you are, Carrie Ann.
Right.
Still can't see anybody else. I'm not sure why my view.
Oh, you can't?
No, it's okay. I can hear everybody. But our 3 programs that are open, our home care program, need personal assistance for that. Always hiring, and our OPWDD support staff for people with developmental disabilities, and then the Veterans Advocate position. And if anyone has any questions on any of those openings, like some more specifics, I'd be glad to talk about it.
Do any of you ladies have a question?
All of those are full-time positions, right?
So home care is, it can be. It depends. You can work with different people. Like you can, so if you have over 30 hours a week, then you are full-time and you get paid time off and you get benefits. So you might not, if the person you work for doesn't need 30 hours a week, maybe they only get 10 or 15 hours a week of help in the home, then you would not be full-time. But if you could, some are, you might have a person that needs 30, 40 hours a week and you'd be full-time just working for one person. But I think a lot of people work for a couple different people or families. And then as long as you get over average 30 hours a week, you're full-time.
So on those positions, Derek, it's the individual that the employee would technically be working for, not AIM in and of themselves. So
Yes.
they could have 2 and 3 different clients with varying needs that total that 30 hour, but would still be applicable to the benefits that AIM's offered.
Exactly. You explained it perfectly. Yep.
Okay.
And that position is $12.50 an hour. That is minimum wage, but and that includes mileage reimbursement as well. And the hours are pretty flexible, which is nice. You could just, if someone needed, if you could only say you had a day job and you wanted to pick up some extra hours on evenings or weekends, we could set you up with someone who needed those hours filled.
Nice. And how is that going through COVID?
It is incredibly important right now. I'll say that because it's keeping people in their homes and out of nursing homes. We have a lot of, we call it PPE, personal protective equipment. We give out a lot of hand sanitizer, gloves, masks. So we supply that to people. And we just basically, you try to do all the precautions with the hand washing and everything, but you are working with people in their homes. So it is functioning during COVID, and it's very important to keep it going.
So what would be a requirement? Because I don't have the job description in front of me. For somebody in that role, would they have to have like a HHA, PCA credential, or is it just somebody that would be, CPR, AD, all that type of safety knowledge?
No, it does not require any certifications. You don't have to be certified as a home health aide, or there's a bunch of different certifications. You don't, because it's called consumer directed personal assistance. Mm-hmm. And so you work for that person. And so therefore, if you worked for a traditional home care agency, you might need some sort of certification. But with this mm-hmm. program, you don't, because you're working directly for that individual, and we're just doing the billing, the support, the payroll. But they train you, and you can do anything basically that a private duty nurse could do, right up to giving medications, things like that. And because it's consumer directed, you don't need the certifications. You just, you need transportation, and you need the ability to, if it depends on the person you're working for. Some people, it might just be shopping, running errands, house cleaning, helping cook meals, things like that. Other people, you're going to have to be doing, toileting, showering, transfers, hygiene, anything they might need help with if they're in a wheelchair. So you have to be ready for that. That could involve some, intimate personal care. But it really varies depending on the person you're working for, what they need. It couldn't just be housekeeping, things like that.
Right.
Running errands, picking up prescriptions.
Okay.
That's
actually really neat to get an individual that was trying to get into this industry to really get their foot in the door and see if it really would be a fit for what they would choose for in a career path.
Right. It's, you have to be comfortable working in personal care, but it does, it can be rewarding because you get to know the people you work for, and, you develop a relationship with them. And aside from, giving them really important care that they need, you're kind of a companion too. So it can be rewarding. It can be a challenging thing, but it can also be rewarding, I would say.
Absolutely. Awesome.
The other position, support staff for people with developmental disabilities, the pay is higher. And you're doing either community rehabilitation, which, as I mentioned, is like activities in the home and community to build independent living skills, or explore their interests, things they want to do. And then the other thing you're doing is really respite for the family, or the other caregiver, whoever it might be. But the pay is a little higher, and if they really like you, they have the flexibility to pay you more, give you raises over time. So we have people in that program. Maybe they start out, if they're just doing some respite, maybe it's $15, $16 an hour. But if they're doing, the community rehabilitation activities with their individuals, it can be higher, $17, $18. And we have people making $25 an hour because their family really likes them. They want to keep them, so they keep giving them raises. So it can pay pretty well. We'd like to have our home care program pay that well, but we're subject to the state reimbursement rates for that, which is not very high. We're always pushing to get that figure higher, actually.
Marcy,
And is that?
Marcy looked like she was have a question, but go ahead and finish what you were going to say.
I was just going to say it's similar with the hours. You can work for a couple different people or a couple different families. And it can be flexible hours, but if you get over 30 hours a week, you get the benefits and some paid holidays off, things like that, and a retirement plan. Did someone have a question?
Marcy, were you going to ask a question?
Oh, he answered it, so.
Oh, okay.
Okay. And that can be rewarding because you're working with people, helping them develop skills, watching you see the growth. And you develop a relationship with the people that you work for. So that can be very rewarding as well. You do need patience because your individual that you're working with might be having a difficult day. So it does require patience, and it can be challenging, but I would also say it can be very rewarding.
Absolutely. I had another quick question for you, Derek. You were talking about the navigator for the New York State Department of Health.
Yes.
Excuse me. Is that only for individuals that come to AIM, or that any community members could utilize their navigator services?
Most of our programs are for people with disabilities, but that one is open to anyone in the community. And I think we do about 4,000 applications a year. So it's about we serve Allegheny, Chemung, Steuben, Schuyler counties with that program primarily.
Right.
And a lot of people have lost their jobs and therefore their insurance with COVID. So that's been a really valuable service for people.
I imagine it has. I also had one more quick question. I'm sorry, guys, if I'm asking more, but maybe I'm touching on what you may or may not want to ask. But when you're talking about your SSI SSDI program and the appeal process, whatnot, did they also discuss like an individual that received the SSDI, but they want to try to go back to work, maybe part-time, kind of like the Ticket to Work program? Do you offer that through AIM?
We do. It's not so much that we offer it, but we help people
navigate that.
Those they call them work incentives, and I think Ticket to Work is one of them, but I think there's other ones.
Yeah.
Not my program, but yes, we do work incentives, and there's also if you're on Social Security, there's something called continuing disability reviews every so often. You have to see whether you're still eligible and go through that process. So we help with that.
Okay.
As well as the initial applying and getting through the initial process to get disability.
Yeah, that can be daunting. That definitely can be daunting to individuals.
Sure. So just overall, I love AIM. It's a great place to work. They stress work-life balance. In my opinion, the pay is pretty good and the benefits are pretty good. There's good people that work there. It's an interesting place to work. Like I said, a lot of the staff have disabilities themselves or have families with people in their families who have disabilities, children. So people really do have a good perspective on things. we have people who work there who are deaf or hard of hearing. You'll see people talking in sign language when you walk down the hall, and it's just an interesting place to work, in my opinion.
Yeah, definitely sounds it.
I've learned a lot since I started, for sure. So, yeah, if you're interested, please apply. The application process is online, but you can also call our HR director. Her name is Brooke.
Do you want me to pull that up?
Yeah, sure. Why don't we do that?
Sure. Can you see it?
Oh, yeah, I just
Yeah.
zoomed. Mhm.
And her extension, is her extension on there?
I
believe
did put the extension just for our conversation.
it is extension 120 for Brooke.
Okay.
And the application process is all online. If you go on our website and then you click on careers, I think some of you were looking at it, but there's job descriptions for the three positions we have open right now, and you can always check back. In general, before COVID, we'd have at least a handful of openings at any one time, but things have slowed down. But I would say check back now and then for more openings. We're pretty good about posting them on that site as soon as we get them.
I know once we hear that you have it open, we also post it on our social media site just to try to get some of that information out to a broader network as well.
Thank you. I do appreciate it. I know you share a lot for us, so thank you.
Oh, absolutely. So, any of you ladies have any other questions for Derek at this time? I am going to take this particular screen down. Does anybody need it left up there? No?
No.
Okay. Hopefully I'm not messing this up here. There we go. Okay. So right now I'm going to unrecord at this time. Derek, thank you so much for taking the time out to come to Workforce Meet the Employer, because I really think it's valuable for community members, not just job seekers, but community members as a whole, to just learn what your organization does, how it impacts the community. And this really gives a more one-on-one approach of, you can read a job description, but when you hear the background and the stories like you've shared with us today, it really makes an impact. And we appreciate you being here with us today.
Well, I appreciate y'all for joining, and please contact us if you think of something. Feel free to call or drop an email.